Hi, we were talking about the myth of work and life balanced. Many times what happens is that we look at things, and because of the way that we do things, we think that we need to balance everything out. But there's a time for things to be unbalanced. There's situations in life where we have to look at it, and there's times that we must put work as our primary thing. And that's in order to have everything else to be able to be stable. There's a time when you have to put family or marriage or whatever it is in place. The Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes that there's a time and a season for everything under the sun. Many people decide that they want a total balanced life. If you have a total balanced life, you're going to have a unsuccessful life. You're going to have a failure as a life, because there is no such thing as being balanced in everything. Everything is not meant to be balanced all the time. There are times in your life when you know that you must put many hours into creating and doing different things for your business. If you're just starting a business, there's no way in the world that you're going to be able to say, okay, 3 hours here, 3 hours here, 3 hours here, and 3 hours here. What you do is the reason that people have these problems is because the things that they do, they have not prepared. In other words, if I'm going to create a new business, I need to let my husband, I need to let my children, I need to let my family. I mean, I don't have no little children. Being in my 80s, I don't have no little children, and I don't have a husband to be going through. But this is just a picture. This is a scenario. But even no, I'll give you a real example. When I did have my children in my home, when they were growing up, I gave them some choices, because we did not come out of wealth. We came out of lack. I don't say poverty, because that's never been a part of my language. We came out of being, and I don't say poor, because that is a state of mind. Broke is a temporary condition. So we were very, 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 very broke. That's what we came out of. But I gave them some choices. I let them know you have two ways that we can live life. We can live life scratching and wanting and doing welfare and doing this and this and this. Or what we can do is that we can break up situations. We can break up chores. We can break up things. I will do the work going out to produce the finances, but you guys have to do the work here in the house. If you're able to do that, then you will never want for anything. You will never want for any toys. You will never want from any of this. Now, my children were young, and I'm talking about 5, 6, 5, and 8, whatever it was. They were under 10 when I gave them this. I don't remember all of their ages and stuff at the time. But they decided that there was too many things that they wanted in life, rather than to have it where we had to scrimp. And so therefore, the house, the things that were done in the house, and they realized that they had to govern each other, that they had to govern, that they had to, they were all real big liars, but they had to start to tell the truth. They knew that they had to do some changes. So my time was mainly spent. I did not go to all of those baseball games. I didn't go to all of the different things like that. I chose one, let them know I'll do one of this, and one of this. I did not spend all my time at that. Why is that? Because I was creating a lifestyle. I was creating something for them. So if you want to call that balanced, it was balanced. It was a balanced type of a life. But my spending time at home, back then, way back then in the olden days, there wasn't all this box stuff. There wasn't all of these, fast microwavy type things. And even if it was, I did not have the budget in order to spend it. So I would cook meals for the whole week. I would do that on my day off. I would do that on that day off. I would make sure that they had all the meals, and it was up to them to take them out of the freezer and heat them up, not microwaving, but heating them up. It was their responsibility to do many of these things. So it was a distribution of chores. It was a distribution of work. It was that type of a thing. That was their job. That was their job. And they realized that. So none of my children are lazy this day. None of them are. They're all workers. And some of them aren't working in the right capacity or whatever it is, ones that I would choose for them. But that's neither here nor there. But when people say that you must have a balance, you have a balance. You got to go to all of these games. You have to do all of these different things. What they're doing is saying this: I want a balanced finance. I don't want to excel. I want to live beneath. I want to live below. Anytime that you're doing something, anytime that you're building something, there has to be certain things that you say no to. No is one of my favorite words. No is the word that gets me to my place of success. Knowing the things to say no to. When someone says, do you want to go to this game? No. Do you want to go out to here? No. You want to go to dinner? We're all going out to dinner. We're going to all do this. No, thank you. I've learned to say no and no thank you. Why is that? Because it is not towards what it is that I am doing. It is not going to advance me. So right at this particular time in my life, I don't know how many more years I have in this earth. And you don't either. I don't care if you're 20. I don't care if you're 40 or you're 60 or you're in your 80s or 90s or whatever it is. I don't care if you're 10. You don't know how long you have. So redeem the time, utilize the time, make the time valuable, make the time work. Here it is. When you talk about here, I want to have this balanced life. Most people are talking about, I want to go to work from 8 to 5, or I want to go and do this. And then I want to come home. I want to just sit down. I want to have the abilities to do this with my family. And it's actually doing nothing. It's not conversating. It's not helping them to grow. It's creating a perpetual type of a family that is actually not going to get anywhere. Where are the dreams? Where are the goals? Where is the imagination? When you imagine things, when you start to realize that certain things are important, when you have a passion for something, here it is actually, because of a passion, there cannot be equal time for everything. There will not be equal time for everything. There are things that I would like to do, but there are things that I love to do. What I'm doing right now, I don't like getting prepared for it. But once I get into it, I love it. Why? Because it's going towards the reason that I was born. It's going towards my purpose in life. It's going towards my destiny. And what is that? It's creating a better life for other people. It's giving other people the opportunity to think differently, to expand their minds, to realize that no matter where they were born, that they don't have to stay there. There's her name has Dr. Strubing says, you may not have come from a rich family, you may not have come from a wealthy family, but let a wealthy family come from you. And what it is this: then there has to be some imbalances. And it's not because of your color, it's not because of your nationality, it's not because of anything. Here is what many people talk about. They want this balanced life. They want this level playing field. I can give you a tool. Come on in. I can give you a tool that will level your playing field immediately. Take the words that most people use, that politician uses, that we use for manipulation and stuff, that word race, and only see it as one thing: the human race, because it will level. Now, if you do this, it will level the playing field in your mind. And that's the only place it needs to be leveled. What happens is this: every time you use the race and you're talking about this group of people and this group of people, now, which one are you? Most of the time, you're down here, or you can be the ones up here because it makes one superior and one inferior. When you say there's only a human race, it levels the playing field. My color, my nation, my none of these things. Anytime you add words to who it is you are or what it is that you stand for, it divides, and someone has to be superior and the other one has to be inferior. That's a false picture of balance. When people say, well, you as an African, I am not African. I am not an African. I am an American. So don't call me no African American. That is not who I am. I don't even know any of those. That is not what it is. Either I'm, because my power, my authority, my identity is that one of an American. It is not one of my ancestors and wherever it was that they came from, because they weren't wanted wherever it was that they were. They're wanted there. They may not even been wanted here, but it really didn't matter. And when you start looking at balance, it does not matter whether somebody wants you there or not. You and I can become very grateful for the people that reject you. When the people reject you, that just means that it's a number next. These are not my people. These are not the people that I am here to serve, that are meant to pay me. So these people are helping me so that I do not have to go through all those applications and try and figure out who it is that I am sent to. It does not matter. If you like my program, great. If you don't like my program, great. If you have complaints about my program as to where I can improve it, I will take those and I will work at those, and I will look and see if it doesn't take me off my purpose, then I'm willing to make those adjustments. But if you just want to correct what it is that I am because it doesn't make you feel good, that's on you, baby. And that is, if you want to talk about a balanced life, that's a balanced life. What that is no one else has my scales. My scales is my integrity. When you're talking about a balanced life, it has to be where your level of integrity is, where your purpose is. To thyself be true. You have to be true in order to have a balanced life. You have to be true to who it is you are and what it is that you were called to, however it is that you choose. But being balanced by compromising, being balanced by being one of the crowd, being balanced by saying, oh, I have to give equal time to all of these. I give equal time to this. You give equal time to that. You have given equal time to nothing. You are one that is taking everything, and you have no purpose. You have nothing that has you on fire. You have nothing that is saying, this is my priority. If everything is equal, if everything is balanced, you ain't got no priority, baby. Ain't no priority. Don't you just moving along. You just smoothing along. There's no priority. I have priorities. So therefore, I give more time, more energy, more study, more, all of that to my priority. So it's out of balance. Here it is. I give this time to studying about the brain, studying about the mind, finding this, taking courses, and doing all of these different things. These are important things to me. I used to give more time to playing golf than I gave to anything else. But then this part of me, this thing happened. And so now here is my focus, whether I'm ministering in a church, whether I'm overseeing that, whether I'm at a convergence, whether I'm traveling, whatever it is, no matter what, there's two subjects that always come up. Well, actually three. One is I'm trying to help everybody to realize that when you stop using that word race, then you stop, when you're talking about different nationalities of people, then you stop separating them and you become empowered. You empower yourself. So And then number two, I always talk about money, and because that's always on people's mind, even when they start talking about, well, you always talk about money. Yes. And you always talk about it too. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You talk about what you can't have. You will never hear me say what I can't have, what I can't afford, because there's no such thing. And then the third thing you hear me talk about is the brain and the mind and how you think. All three of those things are a part of my purpose. They're a part of life. And if you get those in order, many times people are thinking, oh my gosh, what they're thinking about is this. They're thinking about balance means order. Balance and order are two different things. I have my life in order, but if someone were to look at it and say, you're unbalanced, and I said, thank you very much, because what is that? I must keep first things first, second things second, and third things third. And the rest of the things are not there. I'll finish up with this. There used to be a time in my life where my priorities were I had to take care of my children. I had to provide for them. I was unmarried. I was a single parent or unmarried parent, a divorced parent, all those things all at the same time, different times. I mean, all of that. Anyway, but that was my priority. My children were my priority, and making sure that they had everything that they needed in order to be able for them to have the ability to have choices so that they could choose what it was that they wanted. They could choose this bike. They could choose this. They could choose to live here. They could choose to live there. They could choose different things. So freedom of choice. They had to be able to do that. So I produced so that they could do that. But those are not my priorities anymore. You are my priority. I fixate on problems people are having with their thinking and their mind, and how they spend their time, and how they can spend their time, and how they can progress, and how they can be productive, and how they can grow, and how they can produce money, and how they can read the Bible, and how they can obey God, and how they can do this, and how they can choose words that will get them unstuck from being either a victim or someone that is an abuser, whether they're victorious or wherever it is, anybody that is stuck. So if you're stuck in that place that says, I have to have this balance in my life, and this is what balance is, I submit to you that it's time for you to consider changing the way that you think about the word balance. Balance is this: doing priorities first. If you have more than 3 priorities, if you have more than 3 goals, if you have more than 3 things that you're doing at a time, then none of it is important. You have no priorities. There's a priority 1, a priority 2, and a priority 3. In my personal life, in my life, God is number 1. I am number 2, and my businesses and stuff and my family and all are number 3. It goes in that order. And that's what I give attention to first. If I didn't do that, I would not be able to serve you at the level that I am growing to serve you at. My growth, so that I can help you to grow, is the important thing to me. So if you like this, please like it, share it, send it to your friends, and then push that button, that bell, I should say, that lets you know when the next video is coming up. And I'll remember, we have an Optimize Your Brain Challenge. I think the link is right below. We have one this month. And what we're doing is having it so that you can stretch your mind. Your mind is not fixable. Your brain is not fixable. You can grow both of it. So this is a growth. Grow your mind, grow your ideas, grow. You have the seeds that are on the inside of you to be able to grow as big as you want to. You'll be able to grow in your finances, in your family situation, in your businesses, as an entrepreneur, as all of these things. And when you do, many of the doors, many things that have been locked to you will be unlocked, because your confidence in who it is you are and in what it is that you're here to do, it will have grown. So remember, check us out at the Optimize Your Brain Challenge, and I'll see you next time. Bye.